Yeah, say hello, get it out of your system. Alright, so for starters, we've been working with poetry a lot, and poetry isn't exactly the easiest thing in the world, right? Like you guys just spent a better part of the period working on the test. But what I'm going to do today is show you how to analyze poetry and pull out different elements through some close reading and things like that. So for starters, we're going to start with a riddle. Okay? So number one, what has teeth but cannot eat?
So what now? I didn't.
What has teeth but cannot eat?
A zipper.
A zipper.
Oh.
Yeah. See that? Okay. So number two, what has a neck but no head?
A shirt.
Turtle.
Yeah. That's one answer, I guess. Okay. Anyone else have another one?
The one dude from like Wall Stories. The Headless Horseman. That guy.
Yeah, there you go. That's another one.
Yeah.
Someone may or may not be drinking out of something right now. A bottle? Yeah. Okay. So we got 3 different answers that were all correct. Okay. Now, number 3. There are 2 twins. One was 20. The other was 20. Now, one twin married the other. How did that happen?
They're not.
Two sets of twins married two sets of twins.
That works.
Incest.
I guess that's a technical answer if you ever look into that. But that's not the answer I'm looking for. What else could they do? Anything?
Your beak.
Two sets of twins that are both 20 and they got married.
No, there were two twins and I said they were twins with each other.
Yeah.
There was one twin who was 20 and another twin who was 20.
So
And they
it's
got
married
married.
each other?
Yeah. Or one twin was a priest and married the other twin at their wedding.
Ah.
Okay.
Touche.
So now, what we just did was basically, in all honesty, the same thing that you do with analysis. You take the information that you're given and you come to a conclusion from it. And you can get a ton of different conclusions from an analysis. Just like with the riddles that we just did. You have a bunch of different answers that are all correct. You just have to defend your answer, right? So now, how would we find this information in a poem? When you have all of that to go through, what exactly are we going to have to do?
Map it out.
Map it out? How are we going to map it out?
Outline. Venn diagram.
Outline, Venn diagram, break it down. What are you going to do to break it down?
Separate it into like stages.
Yeah, and that's part of a process that we call close reading. And that's where you break down individual parts. Like when you go through the feet and you mark out the stresses and the rhymes and things like that, that's what we call close reading. So, what are some of the poetic elements that you guys have been studying in the past couple of weeks, since I've been here anyway?
Rhythm.
Rhythm,
Meter, couplet,
meter, couplet,
Stress.
stress. What about on the board behind me?
and
And rhyme. Okay. So can you give me some examples
With an address.
of any of those things?
Sure. Dance in my head.
There you go.
Well, like, and then the next one's about the bed.
Head bed. That's
Yeah, like how are the poem goes?
That's totally fine. That's a good example of a rhyme.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. Now, when I said analysis earlier, what did that make you think of?
Math.
Math. Okay. That's certainly something. What do you do when you analyze a math?
Find the answer.
Find the answer. Figure it out. That's what I heard over there. Yeah. Okay. So, according to the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, the definition is to study something closely and carefully, to learn the nature and relationship of the parts of something by a close and careful examination. So in essence, you're figuring out the answer, right? You're going through it step by step by step by step. And honestly, when you're doing the close reading, math and English have a lot in common. Because you have to pull out those individual parts, and you have to look at them, and see how they relate to each other. If you have this and this, then it equals this. Okay? So, What else can we look for when analyzing poetry besides the meaning? The different parts of the poetic elements, right? So what I am going to give you is a song, kind of in poem, I guess, technically, called Bottom of the River by Delta Ray. Have any of you heard that before?
Nah.
They're a relatively new band. I think they started in 2011. They have one album out.
Do you like them?
I do like them. I like them a lot. And we'll actually get to listen to them later. But, for starters, if you guys need more, let me know. We're going to take a preliminary look. We're going to take a look at the poetry and the written words, and we're going to start this close reading process, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this out loud once, and while I'm doing that, I'd like you to make notes in the poem. Write down things that you notice, questions that you might have, any rhymes that you might see, similes, metaphors, imagery that you find interesting, I guess. Okay. Does everybody have a poem, by the way?
Sure.
Got some extras?
Yeah.
We just want to pass them up to the front. So, are there any questions before we start?
Here we go.
All right. Okay. So, Bottom of the River by Delta Ray. Okay. Hold my hand, oh baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my hand, oh baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. If you get sleep, or if you get none, the cop's gonna call in the morning, baby. Check the cupboard for your daddy's gun. Red sun rises like an early morning. The Lord's gonna come for your firstborn son. His hair's on fire and his heart is burning. Go to the river where the water runs, washing deep where the tides are turning. And if you fall, hold my hand, oh baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my hand, oh baby, it's a long way down to the bottom, it's a long way down. The wolves will chase you by the pale moonlight, drunk and driven by a devil's hunger. Drive your son like a railroad spike into the water, let it pull him under. Don't you lift him, let him drown alive. The good Lord speaks like a rolling thunder. Let that fever make the water rise, and let the river run dry. And I said, hold my hand, oh baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my hand, oh baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. Hold my hand, oh baby, it's a long way down, a long, long way. Hold my hand, oh baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. So what are some things that you pulled out of that?
It was like every other morning, warning, burning, turning, hunger, under, thunder.
Yeah, that's all I got. No, that's fine. It was just the first run through. Anyone else have anything to add? Any images that you liked? Anything at all? Personally, I think the drive your son like a railroad spike is a particularly interesting image, especially after you see the video. But what I would like now is if you guys could pair up for, we'll say 4 minutes. Pair up for 4 minutes and look through with each other and try to pull out some of those images, some of those rhymes, anything that you find interesting. And start asking some questions like, whose hair's on fire in the second stanza? Who's the poem talking about? Things like that. Someone. Okay? So go ahead, start.
Excuse me?
Try to pull out some imagery, some similes.
No problem.
So anyone have any questions? No, you're fine. Make it seem up and all. Yeah, so it's like that.
Why is his Why does it say like? It sounds like he's not fun, it's like the most driver son.
So 80.
Yeah, it took him long.
Now, the next one.
Like him, that he's surrounded by
Let me isolate.
that.
Slide, drive.
So is that ADH?
That technically.
Came on this morning.
And then, talk a little bit more about that video, why you think climate change. We're talking about it as a whole.
I only get these two, that's
We only get the ones that explain like.
So we have like 30 more seconds to finalize some ideas.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. That hurts to send that.
All right, let's bring it back up front. Okay, so what are some things that you guys pulled out?
The fever.
The fever? Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. You want to expand on that?
That it's so hot that it makes the water rise and evaporate.
Okay. So that's something to look at.
Evaporates.
What else do we got?
There's a couple of similes.
A couple of similes. You want to say something?
Thank you.
The good Lord speaks like a rolling thunder.
Okay.
Drive your son like a railroad spike.
Yeah, there you go. And then what about the group up front? What were we talking about? End rhyme? Do you guys notice that in the second and fourth stanzas, the end rhyme actually changes partway through? So that's something to look at as well.
The
Okay.
last one, is it, or the second, whatever,
The fourth stanza?
yeah, is it C, D, C, E, C, D, C, C? Just drive.
That's what I put down. Okay, so now what we're gonna do. They did make a music video of this, and a big part of this band is their inspiration and where they draw their ideas from. And when they were younger, they would be told stories of witchcraft and different fairy tales and things like that. Anyway, they were told different sorts of witchcraft and fairy tales and other things like that. And that's influenced a lot of their work and what they've done. So, as soon as this loads up, I'll get the video playing. Awesome. Here we go. You guys ready?
Hold my head, ooh baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Hold my head, ooh baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. If you get sleep or if you get night, Doc's gonna call in the morning, baby. And check the cupboard for your daddy's gun. Red sun rises like an early morning. The Lord's gonna come for your firstborn son. Go to the river where the water runs. Wash him deep where the tides are turning. And if you fall, and if you fall, hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down to the valley. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. You chase me in the valley night. Drunken, driven by a terrible hunger. Drive your son like a railroad spine into the water, let him pull him under. Though you live to let him draw the line, the good Lord speaks like a rolling thunder. Let that fever make the water run. Let it burn in the water. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down to the valley. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down, a long way down. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way, a long, long way. Hold my hand. Ooh, baby, it's a long way down, a long way down.
All right. So now, what kind of things are you thinking about after seeing that?
I have no idea.
She's a
Crazy
witch.
stuff went down.
Some crazy stuff went down, yeah. Generally with witches, crazy things go down. So does that give you a new perspective on this? Have you seen that? Yeah.
Bunch of crazy.
Bunch of crazy. What kind of things did you guys see?
Yeah.
So
Were those dead people at the end of that? I was just
they
wondering.
were certainly on the ground.
Either were they asleep or were they dead?
I don't know. I really don't. So what do you guys think about the dancers that came out? Pretty cool.
Creepy.
Okay.
I don't remember that part of that time zone, if they're trying to make it towards a certain area. Back in the day.
What could the dancers represent? Because at the beginning, hey, up here please. At the beginning, it was just the 3 people that were trying to take her to the tree and hang her, right? Her hands were bound. And as she started getting into the song, did you guys notice the farmers on the side with the black eyes? And that's the part where the dancers with the red masks came up. Okay? And then as she continued and the song got more intense, the dancers came out and were walking behind the farmers and pushing them forward. Right?
And then her hands were free.
How did her hands get free?
One of the dudes cut the rope.
Magic.
She's a witch.
Yeah. Okay, so when some of these things float around, why don't we keep making some more notes on this? Okay, and then we'll group back together in, we'll group back together in 2 minutes, okay? Yeah, mark it on the paper.
No, it was down on the
I guess you were marking
She walked away from the game, she was gone, like, went down to the.
No, the really
Started walking.
Yeah, and then how the sentence about. Did you notice
Yeah, so I just
Alright, last period's almost up, so can we bring it back up front for just a second? So, you guys all have a piece of paper that you can take out real quick? I'd rather you guys keep that. But for tomorrow, I'm gonna finish up this lesson. And for tomorrow, on top of doing the assignment that's up there, if you guys could write down what you think the song's talking about, and some of the things that you're thinking about on there, that'd be awesome. But for me today, if you could write down what you learned today and how you think the lesson went on a sheet of paper, just for my own personal use, that'd be really cool. Okay? Yeah.
It was great. Good luck.
We write our name on that.
If you want to, you don't have to write your name on it. Again, yeah. Does anyone need some paper?
Yeah. 1, 3, 5.
Yeah. Let me know what you thought about it and anything that you learned today, what you liked about the lesson, what you didn't like. Because the thing about, what's up? Yeah, I'll take them when you're done. Because the thing about doing things like this, it's for me to get ready for student teaching and having a classroom of my own.
Oh.
What's up? Yeah. Yeah, I see teach next spring. And it's always nice to hear student feedback, so I can constantly try to improve what I'm doing.
There you go.
Yeah.
Does everyone know what they're doing for tomorrow for me?
What?
So, does everyone know what they're doing for tomorrow for me?
No.
Write down.
Yeah. So, on the poem and song that we did today, what I'd like you to do for tomorrow is keep going through it and analyzing, pulling different pieces out.
Hey, move your gas back. Library.
Also, just to clarify, we are gonna keep going with this tomorrow.
Hey, Rod, hi. I wish we had that.
Like while they're playing, he's in the He was in the locker room. He started playing.
That's what I thought, and that's all you get. That's like, probably don't have animals, and I thought it was when my dad said, and I said, oh, she's got I want animals, it's like, I'm gonna have animals, they were stop, so that's why I put it up to the there's that.
See you tomorrow, guys.
I confused myself, so now I work over here.
I'm headed to the library. So how do you think it went?
I don't think my bad, I'm just like,